A very good evening to you and welcome to TV47 Weekend. We've got plenty lined up for you here tonight. I hope you've had a fantastic Saturday so far. Do remember to send us your feedback at TV47 Kenya across all social media platforms, with W2047 being our SMS line. Now, at the tail end of the bulletin, we will be having Kasim Wasige, who is with us here tonight, the CEO of Simama na Mtoto Foundation, and he'll be telling us more about his charity foundation and any other projects that the foundation is looking forward to. So do stay tuned for that intricate interview. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Anwai Rimo, and I am Muthani Maina. Starting off, IEBC Chairperson Wafula Chebukati now says the Commission may suspend the elections in areas where the court has not yet made a ruling on election disputes. According to Chebukati, the ongoing court cases are derailing the election preparations. Mwangi Maina has more.
It is during the Political Decency and Accountability Forum at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, where more than 86 political parties and representatives of the 4 presidential candidates had gathered to sign a peace accord, that IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati revealed that the election of various seats in 31 regions is in jeopardy, pending the determination of 31 cases appealed at the High Court. 31 cases out of the 325 adjudicated by the IEBC Disputes Resolution Committee were appealed and are still pending at the High Court. Chebukati says the delay in solving the cases is stalling the ballot printing process.
Not give judiciary a timeline. We have already said in the past we've been impressing upon them to speedily conclude the cases. But we shall reach a point where we cannot then be able to print ballot papers if the judgments and decisions come too late. And if that time comes, then we may consider postponing elections in those electoral areas. So as of now, there are no such definite electoral areas.
All right. While speaking to TV47, IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati said, going by the Commission's timelines, the ballot printing process is expected to be over by the 29th of this month. Chebukati is now imploring the High Court to dispose of the elections disputes expeditiously.
The ballot papers must be printed and delivered on or before 29th of this month. That's the agreement we have with the service providers. And at some point in time, we shall then advise the country what can be done and what's practical. Remember, it involves the logistics of transportation and distribution in the various constituencies and polling stations. So all these factors put together, if that time comes, then we shall communicate.
While guaranteeing the integrity of the August 9 polls, Chebukati says the presidential candidates, their agents, observers and the media will be given special access to the results transmission system. Chebukati has challenged the media to do their own tally and call the elections once all the results from the 46,000 polling stations are collated. However, it is only the IEBC that will declare the winner within 7 days.
The media then should be at the forefront of this. This is your chance. Take your space. Don't sit back and leave it to the Commission. This happens in the US, the media call results. In Ghana, the media call results. Why should we not do it in Kenya? So the Commission has nothing to hide. We are transparent, and we are bringing you on board to say, work with us this journey.
At the same time, Chebukati has told of the Azimio la Umoja coalition over claims that the recruitment of returning officers, their deputies and presiding officers has been marred with tribalism. Chebukati says the IEBC reflects the face of Kenya and that ethnicity is not a basis for one to get unemployment. Chebukati has also rubbished claims that there is a fallout and chaos at the IEBC among the commissioners.
With exactly 30 days remaining before the August 9th general election, the Independent Election Boundaries Commission insists it is all systems go to deliver a free, fair and credible election, with IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati calling on the media to be on the forefront in transmitting election results. Mwangi Maina, TV47 from the KICC, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mwangi Maina, for that report. On to graft matters. President Uhuru Kenyatta has vowed to deal firmly with all corrupt individuals in government. The head of state has reiterated his anti-graft message, saying he will not allow the corrupt to continue serving in government. He at the same time defended the government's use of foreign investors in development projects.
Naona kama ni mali yako, sio yako, ni ya umma. Na mali ya umma, you're just a caretaker. That is all you are, a caretaker. And when you recognize that, and you recognize the whole government approach, then you also recognize that Kenya has never operated in isolation. Kenya is a respected member of the global community. On top of that, Kenya throughout her history is recognized as a very strong supporter of our multilateral institutions. Sijui kama tunaelewana. That's why Dr. Baigura is here, leading Habitat, leading UNEP, na mambo mengine kama haya. That is why we want WHO here. Alafu wewe unaenda huko kusema ati hii shamba ni yako. Shamba yako kutoka wapi? Hii ni shamba ya Wakenya. And what this facility is going to do to help us improve healthcare, not just in Kenya, to help us meet emergencies, not just in Kenya, but throughout the African continent. Halafu wewe unaenda kuweka breaks hapo kwa sababu, lakini bado nimebaki wiki 3. We shall deal with those individuals swiftly and effectively. Swiftly and very effectively.
Now, Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate William Ruto has launched yet another scathing attack against his main rival in the August 9th race, Raila Odinga, alleging he does not have the interest of Kenyans at heart. Speaking during his campaigns in Turkana County, Ruto says Raila does not value peace and is not fit to lead the nation. William Moige reports.
Kenya Kwanza presidential flag bearer William Ruto today took his vote hunting mission to Turkana East and South. The deputy president launched a scathing attack on Azimio 1 Kenya flag bearer Raila Odinga, saying his boss President Uhuru Kenyatta confirmed that Odinga does not embrace peace, urging him to accept the outcome of the August polls to ensure a peaceful country.
Mimi nataka niwaambie, mimi na yeye, tutakabiliana na yeye. Hawezi kuendelea kutisha watu katika taifa letu la Kenya. Hawezi kuendelea na mambo yake ya fujo. Hatutakubali mtu mmoja atishe Wakenya wengine na fujo, atishe Wakenya wengine na mambo ya upuzi.
The second in command has at the same time lashed at Raila over his ultimatum to IEBC to avail manual voter register in polling stations, failure to which they will boycott the election, saying that the country will head to the poll on the 9th of August 2022 with or without Azimio.
Tutakuwa na uchaguzi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Hata kama bwana Kitendawili ameanza vitisho yake ati bila ya manual register ati hakutakuwa na uchaguzi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, nataka nimwambie bwana Kitendawili, tutakuwa na uchaguzi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, upende usipende.
Tukifika tarehe 9 asusie kura, aparticipate kwa kura, Wakenya watachagua serikali mpya.
The Kenya Kwanza team, however, was quick to mention that the nation will be safe under Kenya Kwanza leadership, vowing to change the lives of Turkana residents if elected president.
Wale wengine wa Azimio ni uongo tupu, hawana agenda ya Waturkana. Mimi nawaambia leo.
Na tunajua vijana wakipata makazi, wazazi wanatulia, wanangojea watoto walete chakula nyumbani, si ndio? Muko tayari kusimama na William Samoei Ruto?
Ukipiga kura ya tarehe 9, unapiga kura ya kupunguza bei ya unga.
Tomorrow, the Kenya Kwanza Brigade will continue their campaigns in Turkana County for the second day, with the leaders expected to tour Lokichogio and Lodwar. Moige William, TV 47.
Still on campaign trails, the Azimio One Kenya flag bearer Raila Odinga today pitched camp in Kakamega County for the second day, urging Western Kenya residents to put their votes in one basket in the August polls. Raila promised to revive the Mumias sugar factory if elected president. Violet Auma with more.
With 30 days to go to the next general election, leaders from the Azimio One Kenya coalition intensified their vote hunting mission, pitching tent in Kakamega County for the second day today. Azimio flag bearer Raila Odinga traversed through Mumias Sports Complex, Khaimba in Mumias East, Navaholo, before holding a mega rally at Buhungu Stadium, where he promised to revive Mumias sugar factory if elected president.
Kiwanda nataka ianze kufanya kazi ndani ya miezi 3. Marekebisho yote imekuwa imekwisha. Amunihakikisha mimi itafanyika.
Na safari hii Wakenya wote hata kule mlimani tumesema rais wa 5 sio mwingine ni Raila Amolo Odinga.
Naambia nyinyi sasa nimebaki siku 30 peke yake. Tunaenda kwa debe. Tarehe 9 mwezi ujao.
Odinga, who was accompanied by his running mate Martha Karua, Wipers Kalonzo Musyoka, among other leaders, promised to serve Kenyans diligently, urging Kenyans to elect leaders who are development conscious.
Wakati huu tumo hatarini ya kuanguka kwa shimo ambayo tukianguka hatutatoka karne hii. Lazima tuangalie ni nani anaweza aminika kuongoza Kenya.
Sera yetu yote mimi mnajua mambo ya umaskini, mambo ya ujinga, mambo ya ugonjwa, mambo ya ufisadi.
The leaders urged the 2.2 million voters from Mulembe Nation to rally behind Odinga's candidature, castigating their opponents for giving false promises every electioneering period.
Kaniambie tofauti ya Raila Odinga na William Ruto ni kama usiku na mchana.
Ifika tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, Kakamega is locked na unaenda kupata kura 100%.
Amepigania Wakenya maisha yake yote. Tunamjua kama baba wa uzalendo, baba wa mipango, baba wa maendeleo.
Western Kenya is a battleground with Deputy President William Ruto, Ally Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula seeking to lock out Azimio's Raila Odinga, which has been considered his stronghold in the previous elections. Violet Auma, TV47, Kakamega.
Now, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya running mate Martha Karua has promised to champion for gender equality if Azimio forms the next government. Speaking during a meeting with women from different parts of the country, Karua urged IEBC to put its house in order to ensure credible elections. Paul Kirobi has more.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya running mate Martha Karua spoke to us on IEBC State of Affairs, 30 days to the August polls.
We don't trust ourselves and we don't trust one another. That is why we keep on asking the IEBC, because we can't trust them. But they are also not trusting themselves. Because if they did, they would give us an account of everything happening. They would not dodge questions.
This comes just days after Azimio presidential candidate threatened to boycott elections if IEBC does not avail manual voter register to every polling station, a statement that Odinga later retracted. Karua spoke during an event dubbed Million Women for Martha that was organized by Raila Odinga's wife Ida Odinga, where she asked women in the country to fight for their space. Her rallying call being to address the issue of 2/3 gender rule that seeks to ensure fair representation in parliament. Karua took time to narrate how women parliamentarians in 1995 traveled to Beijing during the World Conference that changed their course.
I remember Honorable Beth Mugo, now Senator Beth Mugo. I remember Honorable Charity Ngilu, now Governor Ngilu. They all brought motions to implement some of the things we discussed. I also brought the equality bill and the domestic violence bill. They never saw light of the day, but the motion succeeded. The motion for affirmative action, etc.
Raila Odinga's wife Ida Odinga disclosed the reason why Raila nominated Karua as his running mate.
Masa led a team of 27 lawyers to represent Raila Odinga in court. I looked at her and I said, this small girl, she can do this. Then I knew the power is not in size, but in the mind of the person. And that power is still here.
If Raila Karua ticket wins in the upcoming elections, Karua will be the first woman to be the country's deputy president. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
On to political rifts, a Kiambu gubernatorial supremacy battle between UDA candidate Paul Kimani Wamatangi and Chama cha Kazi candidate Moses Kuria has continued to escalate. As Kenya Kwanza coalition brigade toured the county, the rift continued to widen after UDA brigade led by Kikuyu constituency legislator Kimani Ichung'wah Ndendenyoro, Njuguna Kawanjiko and Juja MP George Ndimburi and drummed support for their party candidates, where Gatondo South legislator and Chama cha Kazi party leader, who is vying for Kiambu County, became agitated.
Mimi sera zangu ni sera za amani na mipango mizuri, na ndio mimi nasema hapa niko na manifesto ambayo nimetengeneza. Hii manifesto inaitwa the manifesto for the Kiambu we want 2022 to 2027. Na hii manifesto yangu nataka wanakania negati wa mahaidia na mahaidia mawera na mahaidia besha na kwa gwemia ndakia kwa mwera. Mungu atuajalie sisi tupatane tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Negwado hito tubadilishe kaunti yetu, tutengeneze kaunti yetu. Negwado hito haya harambe harambe.
Moving on, presidential candidates and leaders of political parties have today signed a political decency and peace charter. The signing of the charter that took place at the Kenyatta International Convention Center signifies their commitment to promote and advocate for peace pre- and post-election. Chepto Boyd reports.
86 political parties, together with presidential candidates, have today signed a political decency, accountability and peace charter ahead of the August polls. While signing the charter, presidential candidates have vowed to spearhead peaceful campaigns void of violence and hate speech. Led by National Cohesion and Integration Commission (NCIC), different stakeholders have lit a torch of peace, dubbed Amani Flames to symbolize peace, handed it over to IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati, asking him to keep the flame burning until the next president is sworn into power.
And he will continually and continuously continue to persuasively dialogue with more and more Kenyans in his signature bottom-up economic engagements with all people.
I'm urging my leaders to join me and in our quest for peace in this nation to speak loudly against the vices of corruption.
We, as the Roots Party of Kenya, believe in one thing, that we have a young generation, we have people who are coming to leadership, and we have to give them a ground that be able to express themselves.
Speaking during a national conference on peaceful elections, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance has asked the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) to avail a voters register ahead of the August 9th election.
We also look forward to seeing a number of reports, audit reports, the report of the KPMG from 2017 and that from 2022, to assure ourselves that the problems that were identified in 2017 have been fixed by the Commission.
The Charter enhances building trust and confidence to the supporters of political parties, the candidates of political parties, and the political parties themselves, being a demonstration of leading from the top in advocating for peace.
The ramifications of today's actions will ring through the halls of history as a major turning point in Kenya's political history and especially the electoral processes.
The political players have been urged to be tolerant to each other ahead of the August polls despite their political affiliations. In a move to ensure peace prevails in the country, political parties and presidential aspirants have promised Kenyans of a peaceful election, clarifying that whatever happened in the past election shall not repeat itself in this year's election. Chepto Boyd, TV47 from KICC, Nairobi.
Thank you, Boyd, for that report. Now on to health matters, as Kenya will soon make it to the top 3 list of African countries with a regional emergency response hub. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, President Kenyatta has cited lack of political goodwill and unavailability of health workforce as some of the main setbacks in the realization of the universal health coverage agenda.
The Kenyan government and the World Health Organization have today launched a medical emergency hub at the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital aimed at restructuring the region's emergency response capacity, currently under duress from the 100 health emergencies reported annually.
This will no doubt ensure that the region in particular and Africa as a whole have self-reliance and self-efficiency through enhanced access and availability of important medicines for all our citizens.
Public health emergencies in the region often prove overwhelming for already weakened health systems and lead to interruptions in the delivery of essential health services.
Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony for the 30-piece acre of land set aside for the $31 million hub, President Kenyatta equally broke his silence on the strains that have delayed his universal health coverage agenda, pointing out lack of political goodwill from a section of politicians and the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Alafu wewe unaenda huko kusema ati hii shamba ni yako. Shamba yako kutoka wapi? Alafu wewe unaenda kuweka breaks hapo kwa sababu, lakini bado nimebaki wiki 3. We shall deal with those individuals swiftly and effectively.
Africa accounts for only 1.3% of trained healthcare workers in the world. So far, Kenya has 8.4 million health personnel, which is far from the 14.5 million targeted to achieve the universal health coverage agenda. In a bid to address this challenge, Amref Health International will soon set up a campus in Ruiru to help scale up training for health workers, including community health workers in the region.
With only 30 days left before President Uhuru Kenyatta exits from office, a number of health projects are currently taking shape in a bid to realize the universal health coverage agenda, which was temporarily halted by the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47 from Ruiru, Kiambu County.
Muslim faithfuls around the world are celebrating the end of EID UL-ADHA, a religious holiday which means the festival of the sacrifice, and marks the end of Hajj, the 5-day pilgrimage. Muslim faithfuls in the country thronged various mosques across the country to commemorate the day. Patronila Goren reports.
Muslims faithful in Mombasa gathered for Eid ul-Adha prayers in various grounds, including Tononoka and Mvita. Eid ul-Adha is a Muslim festival that marks the culmination of the annual pilgrimage to Mecca and commemorating the sacrifice of Abraham.
Kila Muislamu analinda damu ya mwanadamu yoyote katika dunia hii, kutokubali kumwaga damu ya mtu yoyote. Ndio maana Mwenyezi Mungu akaiweka siku ya leo ni siku ambayo kwamba ya kuchinja mbuzi, kondoo, ng'ombe, ngamia. Hiki kichinjo cha leo ni kwa sababu fidia Mwenyezi Mungu ameileta ili kuondosha hukumu ya mwanadamu kuweza kumwaga damu ya mwenzake.
Religious leaders have urged their faithful to remember the less fortunate in the society during the celebrations. They have further reiterated on the need for the country to maintain peace.
Tusijaribu kupoteza usuhuba, urafiki, undugu na ujamaa na ujirani kwa siku moja ya kura tukaharibu mambo yetu.
Wito wangu kwa Waislamu na Wakenya, tuendelee kuishi kama mandugu, tuendelee kuishi na amani, tuendelee kupendana.
Kuwatakia kila mtu kila la kheri na kutaka tuendelee kudumisha amani na uwiano.
However, a section of residents have lamented over the hard economic times that has led to the increase in prices of basic commodities.
Biashara fadhali ya mwaka jana ilikuwa kidogo, hata maskini alikula nyama. Lakini safari hii kwa vile uchumi ilipanda na mbuzi imepanda, sidhani kama maskini atakula nyama.
Sasa hii changamoto, mbuzi ulikuwa unaona 7,000 unapata nzuri, sasa unaambiwa 12,000.
Other Muslims in the country and worldwide will commemorate the day tomorrow Sunday. Chief Kadhi Ahmed Mukhtar is expected to lead prayers in Mombasa.
Amri ya kuchinja Ibrahimu alipewa.
As Muslim faithful continue to commemorate the EID UL-ADHA celebrations, religious leaders have called out on Kenyans to maintain peace, especially as the country prepares for the August general election. Patronila Goren for TV47 in Mombasa County.
Thank you, Goren, for that report. Now it's time to take a very short break. We will be right back with more to keep it right here.
TV47, the home of untold stories.
Despite being visually impaired, he is a jack of all trades.
It is our quest to find answers on how to take care of children with special needs and those with disability. You do not need to see musical notes to understand music, but rather to have your soul feel the vibe.
Actually, for us to make a wheelchair, we have to take measurements of the user.
After doing my assessment, I get to know the parent. I get to know the heaviness she's carrying.
Disability comes at different stages of life.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The next set of millionaires are farmers, as we know agriculture has been and still is the backbone of our economy. As we traverse the different counties to meet different farmers, we ensure to get the story of how they started farming and even how they continue to penetrate the market and overcome the challenges.
Hapa, the reason why nilieka goose na si ducks. Goose, they are very easy to maintain.
A lot of farmers keep on calling, inquiring whether you're supposed to raise some seeds in the nursery or you're supposed to do them directly in